How's it going, guys, and welcome back to Retrospect, your go-to retro gaming podcast. You're listening to episode 34. Today we'll be talking about all things emulation. And joining me on the podcast today, we have, once again, the beast, Brandon Saltalamacchia, or as some people call him, the Renaissance man of retro Dodo. Brandon, how's it going, dude?
Oh my god, yes. You're sticking to the guns here, coming up with something new
every single episode. You're going to have a new intro. It's going to be sick. It's going to be hard to actually think of intros after like 10 episodes.
I love it.
But I'm going to try.
This is an exciting episode because we have our first guest.
That's
many
right.
that follow Retro Dodo will know Bob. He does some of my personal favorite content creation in the space in terms of handhelds, Nintendo stuff, and just chatting shit about games. So welcome, Bob. Thanks for jumping on. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. What an introduction. What an intro. What a professional podcast you have. There's like show notes and stuff.
That's right, baby.
Oh,
Nice.
dude, I was late. I thought we were going to do this in an hour until, and then Jake messaged me, and I was like, "Oh shit, I haven't peed, I haven't pooped, I'm not ready."
Well, I was late. We were supposed to do this yesterday, and I canceled on you.
Things happen, man. Things happen. Brandon, you skipped my amazing intro for Bob. Actually, the Wunderkind of Wulff Den, Bob Wulff. Now,
It just gets better and better.
now, would you pronounce? Is it technically pronounced Wulff with a V? If you wanted to go that route,
I don't know. So if you want the whole history of my name, I'm mostly Italian, so the Wulff is just a little bit that snuck through. My grandfather, whose last name was Wulff, fought in World War II as an American, so he refused to say that it was German. So he told everybody he was Dutch. So we don't know what we are or how to pronounce it. But I'm assuming it's actually German, and he was just really against Germany at the time.
Well, I mean, I used to live in a place called Germantown, and they literally changed their name during World War II to a different name because they're like, we're not part of that. We're not part of that. So your dad was.
As far as I know, it's just Wulff.
Yeah, your grandfather was not too far off from other people.
Right.
Yeah, but Bob, for other people that don't know, so you have a lot of things. You're a multi-talented man as well. You have the Wulff Den YouTube channel. You got the Wulff Den podcast. You got Nintendo that you're ripping content out there with Woodhawker from Beat 'em Ups.
Oh, yes, sir.
You're a graphic designer. I found this out by going to your website.
Yeah, that's kind of abandoned, that website. But yeah, if you dig deep enough, I used to be a graphic designer. Now I just kind of do things for the various channels.
On the various channels, yeah. You're also a photographer. I saw recently you have like a point and shoot that you've been slicking some photos up on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like an amateur type of thing. I've been trying to do more content on my personal channel that's not gaming related. So one of the more recent videos was about just a little old camera I've been throwing around when I'm like out and about the town.
Just a little side hobby.
It's a little fun stuff.
And you also make latte art. You're a beans man.
I'm a beans man. I'm a big coffee guy, and I'm trying to do latte art. I'm getting better. I can do a heart that I'm comfortable with, but I want to get to the point where I make like a whole ass swan. Then you could start saying that I do latte art, but that's gonna be a while.
I've seen some impressive latte art out there. There's a name for some of them. Like, there's some pretty complex names. One of my buddies, he's a barista in New York, and he's always taking pictures of his stuff. And he's like getting better. And he's like trying different oat milks or different almond milks to try and see if he can do it with each of them. And
so I usually use oat milk, and there are all the different types of milk like foam differently. I think I got a new espresso machine that has better steam wand, and I think I'm finally figuring out how to do oat milk.
Consistency, yeah.
There's a whole competition for latte art, and they do hearts, leaves, and swans.
Ooh.
But then there's like you get even crazier than that. But I think the latte art competition, they just do the swan as like the grand finale. I think
the grand finale. So it's like the Great British Baking Show, except only latte art.
Only latte art.
There's a 3D swan.
No. Those are fake and phony. Those you see those on Twitter.
Like
that's
a Pokemon
just,
cafe?
Yeah, that's just bullshit. Those aren't those are cappuccinos, and they're like basically just foam. You're not drinking that really. You're gonna need a spoon with that.
Fake.
But
Fake.
there's like a regulation latte art cup, and like, you know, there's a whole. It's a whole rabbit hole, just like every hobby.
I love it, man. I love it. But yeah, any other cool hobbies you want to tell people about that you've recently picked up?
Oh, geez. Oh, God.
You have too many.
Play with my dog a lot. He's pretty cool.
That's a great hobby.
Like to fuck with him a lot. It's just
okay, whoa. Okay, hold on. We're going to have to end this podcast right now. Well, awesome, man. Yeah. Yeah, go check out Bob on social. He'll post a lot of that stuff. He's a man of many talents. But quick housekeeping for everyone. This episode is sponsored by A Handheld History 88 to 95. So, Brandon, why don't you tell the good people
I in that one?
What it's all about? I think you might
You're
be.
in the first one.
Oh, okay. It's different.
You can be in the second one if you want. The second one is dedicated to 1988 to 1995. We talk about the Atari Lynx, the Sega Game Gear, the Nintendo Game Boy. It's more of a deep dive into that era. We talk with developers, we get content creators and journalists in, and it's 400 pages thick, 2 kilograms in weight. So it's a big boy. Head over to handheldhistory.com to snag one. We're still crowdfunding now. I think we hit about 50% funded. So yeah, we're on track to make this a reality.
Yeah, it's real sick. Sorry, I had to step off camera for a second. I was getting blasted in the face with light from my blinds, just skipping through here, so I had to jump off. But great read through. Everyone go check it out. Yeah, I bought my copy yesterday to get that like middle of the road kind of traffic still going. So excited to see that come through. And I got my
thank you
first copy back here with Bob's wonderful writing inside of it back there.
Oh,
so
hell yeah!
You can check it out.
Well, yeah, you did what did you do on that one? Was it a Switch?
The Switch, yeah.
Yeah. Good piece.
Thank you very much.
Nice
I was very glad you picked me for that one. There's a lot of other people you could have picked, but you went with Bob.
Well, I hold you on a high pedestal, man. I don't think I've said this enough. Like, you're up there with like the people that inspire me to make my shit look better. And it's proving hard because you just keep getting better and better. And your thumbnails, fuck.
Yeah, dude.
They're good.
Thank you very much.
They're good. They make mine look like I've shot it on a potato, honestly.
I had a meeting with a YouTube guy, and we were going through my channel, and one of the things we did was like go through my thumbnails, and he's like, "I noticed you're not in the thumbnail that much," and I was like, I know, I don't, I want to like focus on the thing, and he was basically saying like, well, you got to be in the. He's basically trying to get me to do the.
If you want that YouTube
the
money,
pose, the mouth open pose.
What's this? Interesting.
Yeah. So
damn it.
There's it's a hard dance. You got to dance between like, having your own style and also doing the clickbait. So like
the content creation game, man, it is never ending. But hey, you got to follow those rules. Also, real quick, right into Retrospect at retrododo.com to let us know what your thoughts are on the show, any changes you want us to make, any topic suggestions maybe you want us to kind of tackle, and anybody you may want to have on the podcast. We'd love to know those things, so write into us. And also check out retrododo.com for all the latest and greatest from Brandon and his team over there. But let's jump into the topic of the day, folks. This is what's up with emulation, or let's talk about emulation. And so it's good that Bob's on here. It's good Brandon's on here because you guys are two experts. I'm kind of a noob at this. Although, real quick, I did get my hands on a Mii Mini Plus today.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I saw some pre-orders go up or some stock go up, and I jumped on that. So that'll be coming soon.
Where did you see it go up?
It was some random guy on Twitter. He was like filming his. He was like, hey, they have them available here right now. Boom, here you go. Here's the link. You can get 10% off or whatever. And I was like, cool. Jumped on it. I probably got hacked in the process. I probably it was a fake link. But hey, we'll find out in a few weeks if I see a big withdrawal from my bank account.
Yeah, that's a rough one to get.
Yeah, I was surprised it actually had stock, so I jumped on that. So that'll be coming in pretty soon. But speaking of the Mii Mini, let's talk about emulation first. So this is straight from the Googles. They describe emulation as the reproduction of the function or action of a different computer or software system. What do you guys think about that? Is that what do you think about that definition there, Bob?
I think that's pretty perfect. Reproduction of the reproduction of the function or action of a different computer software. Yeah, you're emulating something. You're taking a different type of architecture and faking it on a newer system or something like that. So I think this is a pretty general definition, but it works perfectly.
It works. But most of us understand emulation as it comes to video games specifically.
Right.
That's where it's big, and that's what we're talking about today. So, Bob, I guess first question for you is, like, how did you first find out about emulation? Like, do you remember your first emulator, like what that was?
I don't remember specifically my first emulator, but my earliest memory of emulation was I never had a Super Nintendo growing up. I was a Sega Genesis kid, and all my friends were playing all the cool games. And I loved my Sega Genesis, and I loved Sonic and all of the other just plethora of great Sega Genesis games.
The plethora.
I had a great time with my Sega Genesis. But I would go over to my friend's house and be like, I want to play Mega Man. I want to play, Mario and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So once I think SNES 9X came out, I was playing it on my parents' compact Presario, because I learned you could just download Mega Man X. And I was like, I've always wanted to play this. And that's my first memory of using an emulator was Mega Man X with SNES 9X. Completely pirated it. But that was the only way I was going to be able to play Mega Man X at the time.
What a good game to pirate on the first one, though. Mega Man X, I mean, unbelievable. The music, the upgrades.
That I consider that, I think, the best Super Nintendo game.
Dude, it's so good.
Super Mario World is up there, but Mega Man X just hits me different.
Bold statement here from Bob Wulff.
Yeah.
How about you, Brandon? Do you remember when you first came across an emulator?
Yeah, so it's back when I was doing videos on fake consoles. I would just buy shit off AliExpress, and I was doing it with Elliot from Retro Future. Bob, you recently met up for Alex, I think. So
he's a good friend. He's awesome.
He's incredible. I love that guy. But yeah, I used to just get into buying fake consoles, and then one was like what was it called? I think it was the Bit Boy. So it wasn't even that long ago, really, like 4 years ago, maybe. And that shit blew my mind for like 40 quid. And it came preloaded. I had everything. I was like, fuck, this is great. Even though it's a little bit naughty, but I was like, this shit's great. And then you get better ones with better screens. And now we're moving on to, we've seen the Retroid Pocket Flip that was announced recently by Go Retro, which were the guys that made the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So things are moving quickly, but as we mentioned with the Mayu Mini and the Mayu Mini Plus, it's just getting harder and harder to get hold of them because there's scalpers, there's more demand, and I feel like a lot of these companies are lying about their stock. Like I think Mayu said there was like 20,000 straight off the bat, which was absolute bollocks. There wasn't that many, maybe a couple thousand, and now people just can't get hold of them. So we're in a really weird time in the emulator industry, or where they're great, but they're either expensive or you can't get hold of them.
I think my first physical portable emulation device was also the Bit Boy, that original Bit Boy. I don't remember if mine came preloaded, but I was also making videos on that. Aside from, I guess, the older, what do you call it? Like the plug and play stuff. Well, I didn't really have much of the plug and play stuff.
Yeah, those were weird.
Or a hacked DS Lite. That was my first actual handheld that had had ROMs on it.
I remember Project 64. I don't know if any of y'all messed around with that, but we had it on our school computers. Someone had downloaded onto our school computers. So in Spanish class, we had a teacher who was not very present. We would just sit in there and play old school retro 64 games. So we'd play GoldenEye on the computer, and it was the first time I'd ever seen that. I was like, how is this possible?
That's wild.
And then a few years later, my nephew or my cousin had a hacked DS Lite, and he I remember I had mine too. We were playing Pokemon. He's like, oh, let me show you my other games I have. and he like just popped out of his screen and then was just like cycling through every single game he had on there. And I was like, how is this possible? I was like, how do you have all these games on here? And he's like, oh, I don't know. It's my dad got it for me. And I was like, okay. I was like, I need to figure more out about this. But I kind of like, I dodged out of the scene and didn't really think about it that much until more recently. I think I had seen content from you, Brandon, Bob, and I think I'd seen Retro Game Core, Russ. I think I saw him posting some stuff and I was like, oh, is this like a thing now? Are people just playing these? Like they seem to like be really quality, and there's so many more on the market, and it doesn't seem to be like as taped off as it once was. So yeah, I jumped on the Miu Mini, and now we're talking about it on a podcast. So wow,
great one to start on. One to start on.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
How time flies. So yeah, why do you think you've seen it blow up more recently? Like, why do you think now, Brandon, like we're seeing more and more people jump on like the handheld emulation stuff?
It's affordable. That's literally what it comes down to. You can buy a console that's pretty much preloaded with thousands of games that would originally cost you thousands of dollars. You know, if I wanted to play Pokemon Red on my Game Boy, I'd have to splash out like 30, 40 quid to play it, when I might as well just buy a bloody handheld. And people just like those types of things, collecting the handhelds. There's more and more choice. It's easier to understand. Like newcomers can totally get to grips with it in seconds. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, Bob, but I think it comes down to affordability and accessibility as well to games that people can't get hold of or can't afford to get hold of.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag because, like, why is it affordable all of a sudden? Because the technology's, I don't want to say it's always been there, but it could have, like, the BitBoy could have existed like 5 years prior to that, you know? I think it's a little bit that new generations are discovering just how great these old games are, and they want to go back and play them, and it's very difficult for people to find them legitimately, especially in like a big collection. Also, there's no system out right now that allows you to play them in such a small portable form factor. That the convenience is so much better. I think what really happened was China got a hold of this technology, it's just lawless over there. There's no copyright or anything.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah, so they made like one and saw how popular it was, and was like, oh, let's run this industry into the ground, and just, you know, marketed it as much as they could, and it became incredibly popular. But if we want to talk about like emulators, like on the computer, and like emulation, so like the software emulation technology, that's just been getting better and better because, again, people need ways to play these old games as easily as possible, and they're what make it as easy to do as possible. And the longer these emulators have been around, the more people work on them, the more people fix them up, and a lot of them, like SNES 9X was the first emulator I played in the 90s, and I still use it to play Super Nintendo games on my computer to this day. It's just gotten better and better.
Well, yeah, and I think one other element, at least in the software side, is it's got to be like associated with Twitch, because there's so many people, or like just streaming in general, so many people. Again, there's a market for folks that want to watch this stuff, but then, you know, they have these fun mods they can apply to it. They can update them graphically or help them like run on better software. And so I think that, like, I mean, like the Breath of the Wild mods that people are running, and just it's so much more. It takes a game like Pokemon. Brandon, you and I are talking about this, the roguelike Pokemon that they made a while ago, that's basically based on an emulation port of, I don't know which version of Pokemon, but it's awesome. Like, people love it, and I think it's just another way for those people to revisit that content while also bringing it up to like modern standards.
Yeah, also, if you're going to stream a retro game, like, how are you going to do it? You could plug in your old console, but there's a whole lot of adapting you got to do.
You got to get some adapters, baby.
Meanwhile, I could literally just click SNES 9X, and it's on my computer ready to go right with my streaming software and everything.
And it works great. Yeah. So yeah, I think technology in China. That seems like the two big factors.
I think they weren't allowed to have video games. Like video games were outlawed in China for like a really long time. And there was a lot of regulation around video games, and that lifted just a few years ago. So that also just so happened to be around the same time that all of these emulation consoles started to get fired out.
I didn't know that. It kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, I watch me be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it was outlawed, and that's why you had stuff like the IQ player. Nintendo made like very specific stuff for the Chinese market because it had to be like very heavily regulated. And I'm pretty sure they eased back on it at least just a few years ago.
Well, and I know that a big publisher had to back out of China recently for the same concerns. So it seems like they're still restricted in a lot of areas, but who knows?
Well, they didn't have consoles. I know they had like PC games and stuff, but consoles were like super heavily regulated.
That's right. So on the same line then, this is an open-ended question. How many emulators in a year is too many? Because it seems like we get like an announcement like every month, every 2 weeks about a new handheld or something that's coming out.
This pisses me off the most about the emulation industry. It's been driving me nuts. Like, I like making videos on like emulators and stuff, but when the same company releases 3 in a year,
oh man,
and they're like almost exactly the same. The biggest, the most egregious companies are Aya Neo. They every time they put out pre-orders, then a few days after the pre-orders, they'll announce the next one that is almost exactly the same. Who else?
Ambernick, they're pretty bad at it.
Ambernick's very bad. Retroid, I had faith in Retroid, but they haven't been very good lately.
Oh man, I got absolutely savaged for my review. I reviewed, I can't remember what it was, the 3 Plus. I think I reviewed the Pocket 3 Plus. And it was like 6 weeks after the launch of the 3, they revealed it. And I just got absolutely blasted in the comments. You fucking dumbass, if they want to release more, they can release more. You're the idiot that bought it first.
What?
Well, I'm like trying to review it as openly as I can. And it's not fair when I recommend like, yo guys, go buy the Retroid Pocket 3. It's great. So, a few of the community members go and buy it. Like, cool, thanks, Brandon. And then these fuckers release a 3 Plus 6 weeks down the line. And these guys are like, why did he not know that they're fucking coming out? I'm like, I'm not a magician.
You can't win in that situation because if you recommend people buy it, I think more people would be pissed that they announced a new one. And if you say, don't buy this because they could release a new one soon, people are going to be mad. Like fanboys are going to, or people who bought it, the new one, or want the new one are going to be mad because they want justification for the money that they just spent. That's something I'm seeing a lot I guess it's not like a gaming thing. It's just a general thing. If somebody's going to spend a couple $100s on a product, they don't want you to tell them it's bad. They really will fight to the death They
don't want that buyer's remorse. They really want to feel good about that purchase.
Buyer's remorse is savage. Yeah. But yeah, I think I named my Retroid Pocket 3 Plus video, this should not exist. I just don't look at comments anymore. I say what I say,
throw it
and it is what it is.
Bye-bye.
I love it.
Good way to do it, actually.
And for us normies out there that aren't as into the scene, I mean, we're used to consoles coming out like every 6 or 7 years, and maybe like the midway upgrade halfway through. So for us, like anything, like if I couldn't imagine Nintendo releasing 3 SKUs of their like hardware in a year. Like that I'd be pissed. But also at the same time, I don't know. I'd be happy if it was cool enough. Maybe I'd upgrade. But
yeah, I mean, it's hard for us to get a little bit of perspective because we're buying every one that comes out because we got to make a video on it.
You're the problem.
Yeah, we are. We literally are the problem. But most people are going to buy one and they want it to last them as long as it can. And these are emulation devices. If it plays the game from 20 years ago just fine, then you should be able to have that for a lifetime.
Right. It works.
But I did see an interesting perspective on Twitter. Somebody responded that these companies can't afford to wait too long between releases because a company like Nintendo or Sony, they make a lot of their money on the software, and these companies are only making money on the hardware. But I still think releasing more than one a year is egregious. I think, especially if it's going to be almost exactly the same. I'm looking at you, Retroid. Like, it should be one a year is fine, especially because these things aren't that expensive. Like, compared to like a Nintendo Switch. Like, some of them are like $300, but most of the ones we're getting are like around $100. So one a year with incremental updates, I think, is fine. Also, because they're not spending a lot of time on development. They're kind of
copy and pasting.
Yeah, they're copying and pasting, and they're not fixing enough. Like, they should wait longer to get all of the kinks out.
They're contradicting themselves a little bit because they keep coming out with new variants. Sometimes they come out with new colors. Like, I think Retroid came out with like transparent colors. So people have learned to actually just wait now. Wait to see everyone publish their reviews. Maybe wait a couple of months to see if there's anything new, because typically there is now. Like Ambernick do it, Go Retroid do it. Neo are pretty bad at it as well, and their products are like $500 to $1,500. Like that is a substantial amount to be like, you know what, I'm going to drop a K on this handheld for then to be a bloody new one by the time it ships. So I think they're shooting themselves in the foot recently, to be honest.
Yeah, Neo is the worst, not only because they release consoles so much, it's because they cost so much. So people are dropping $1,500 only to find out it's immediately obsolete because there's a brand new one coming out. It's like, absolutely insane.
Have you tested their products?
I have a few. I have the first one I had was the Neo Next. Then I got the Air, and then that was it. I also just like these companies. They'll like, first of all, I'm not buying an Neo. Like $1,500 is like way too much. So they sent those to me for review. But right after I did the Neo Air, they're like, we got the Neo Air Pro coming out, and I'm like, I don't want to keep making videos. Like you're taking up space on my timeline now, and it's not interesting anymore. Like it's not an interesting video if I just upload a video that's like, it's the same. It could play PlayStation 2 a little better, you know.
Yeah, that's your benchmark. You have to pick a benchmark for each new thing. What you should try to do is run the like most graphically intense thing possible and just see how shitty it is, and be like, does not run this at all.
That's what I always do. I always try to see where the bar is. But people mostly just want to see, you know, retro games. So like, you try to see what console it can go up to. The Neo Next right now is in my arcade cabinet. I have like a custom arcade cabinet that
I saw that.
I like built with somebody, and Neo Next is just a Windows PC. So now it's just sitting with the screen off inside of an arcade cabinet, like powering the whole thing.
But it's doing great. It's doing great as an arcade cabinet.
It wouldn't be what I would recommend for an arcade cabinet, but it's just what I had. So
we'll use this. This is fine.
Yeah. How many? Neo 2. That's
newer, I believe.
The newer one. Yeah.
That already is not the newest.
No, but they do. The build quality on those products are so they fucking should be for $1,500. But that's something special, and I think the Air Pro Plus, whichever one it is, that's targeted towards retro gaming, isn't it? As far as I've seen,
I'm not sure. I didn't know really any of them were, because they're all Windows. So they like to show that you could just play Windows games on it, which is really cool. It's really cool to have a Windows machine, but it's the least user-friendly thing in the world.
Clunky as fuck.
Yeah, they try really hard, but there's only so much you can do. Even like Steam Big Picture mode like isn't that great, so you can't even like kind of hack it to make it good. Like it's hard to sell. It's hard to be like, hey, you want to play Elden Ring like in a portable way? Well, you can get the Steam Deck, or you can get this fucking thing for $800 that you got to spend a weekend setting up, and it might not even run that good. Also, you only have an hour to play it because the battery will die.
Yeah.
Have fun.
It sounds like a steam train.
Here you go.
Yeah, it's loud.
So that's like another question I just thought of. So yeah, when you have NSO, that's kind of starting to add a lot more content to its offering, all these retro games and more modern games. And then you have like these other ways that are able to play them. Like, why would someone choose an emulator over a service like NSO? I mean, I know obviously in terms of availability of different titles, but like there's a lot more like options for playing retro games. I know with 3DS and Wii U Shop shutting down, that we're losing some of those options. But like, why would someone go for an emulator over NSO or something similar like that, like the Steam Deck?
I think I have a bit of a controversial opinion on this, especially in front of the retro handheld community. But I think there is no reason. I think Nintendo Switch Online is a phenomenal service to put retro games onto. I know a lot of people would rather buy them piecemeal, like a virtual console situation. You just buy the games that you want. But I would have never jumped back into Windback, They did Windback was just on the service, and I was like, oh, I remember this game. Let me try it out. And it's awesome. So, like, I do like the way that they're dropping games every once in a while. They're making like kind of a big deal. It makes it kind of a big deal to when you finally do get stuff. I think Nintendo has been pretty bad at keeping up with their retro library, especially with the 3DS closure of the eShop, because now we're losing a bunch of Pokemon games. But if a game is on Nintendo Switch Online, I'd love to play it on there. I've been playing I actually just downloaded Super Mario Advance 4, the Super Mario 3 port. Yep. I just downloaded the ROM, and that week they dropped it on Nintendo Switch Online, and I've been playing it on Nintendo Switch Online because it's convenient. I think that retro games, we just need them in the most convenient way possible, and I think the most convenient way is to just give the original rights holder a little bit of money. Yeah. But in most cases with retro games, that's not the most convenient way, because these rights holders don't know what to do with these games. So I like the service. I think there's some problems, like control schemes are weird and stuff. I think the emulation is fine. People like to crap on it, but for the most part, it's like pretty much perfect. So I'm all in on Nintendo Switch Online. I think it's a great thing for the whole emulation community.
Yeah,
I agree. It's kind of what we wanted all along, really. We wanted Nintendo to do this. We wanted them to make it accessible, affordable, and although people shit on the emulation market, I feel like the boom in popularity there has almost forced Nintendo's hand to do this, because Nintendo's probably looking at it as like, this isn't going to make us a lot of money, so they've probably chucked it aside for 10-20 years now, but actually it's what the people want, and they can make a little bit of money from it. So I'm glad to see that Nintendo are tackling it, admittedly not as fast as they should be, but it's good enough for the people.
Yeah. And we're always going to need emulation, because there's going to be games that just aren't going to get ported, that either is prohibitively expensive to purchase or to port. Maybe the rights are chopped up a million different ways, like GoldenEye. It's a miracle GoldenEye ended up on Nintendo Switch Online. But there's some games that are just completely lost to time that we're never going to see again. So we're always going to need emulation in some kind, or I guess, retro handhelds or software on the computer. We're going to need piracy in some form, is what I'm trying to say.
For the preservation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but Nintendo Switch Online, I think, is the easiest way to get it, and I'm glad that they're kind of being forced to release this stuff. And I'm sure that they're taking inspiration from the emulation communities. There's some people were trying to find evidence that they took from available emulators in order to make this, but I think they just kind of came to the same conclusion as
if they took from
emulators.
It though, like, what can someone say? It's just like, this is our property, so
they stole back what they stole. So
so you can't. It's a free game out here. The only thing with NSO is I do feel like I would recommend you play the original games with the original controller. And I know it's kind of difficult to get your hands on the wireless N64 controller. I'm lucky enough to have gotten one like right when they launched those games, but it feels weird playing Mario 64 without an N64 controller. So
I hate the N64 controller.
It's the worst, but it's the best.
Yeah, you do need it for a lot of these games.
You do.
But I'll say the Retro Fighters controller. I'm a big fan of the Brawler 64 because it's a little more modernized, but you still have like the C buttons in the right spot. So that's way more comfortable for me. I was playing GoldenEye when that launched with Wood, and he was telling me I was cheating because I was using the Retro Fighters controller.
You need it for GoldenEye, dude. That game is trash. Like it really is not an easy game to play today because the aiming is so bad.
The controls are abysmal by today's standards, but I used to play it all the time. I feel like I just need a second to let it click, and then it helps to have C buttons for the strafing and stuff. If you're not strafing in GoldenEye multiplayer, then you're not going to win.
You're dying. Yeah,
you're screwed.
You're dying. All right, last two questions real quick. What are your favorite handheld emulators right now? Or if you can name one, what's your favorite handheld emulator? And what would you recommend to folks just starting out? So, Brandon, you can go first.
This is as much as I hate this company, and they actually blacklisted me for like a whole year because I just used to talk smack about them. But it is the Anbernic RG351MP ABCD.
Hold on, let me write that in. What is it?
Oh god, it's the RG351MP is the name. It's
I hate that one.
You hate that one, yeah. A lot of people do. It's just perfectly sized. It's made of aluminium. I just like it.
It's classy. And
wait, is that the one? No, I'm messing it up. That used to be the previous version of that was my favorite. I liked for like a long time. I liked it because I do like the aluminum.
All right, Bob. So what's your favorite then?
Well, I mean, it's hard for us because we jump around so much. Like we have to play a bunch of different stuff.
But you gotta have one.
I play mostly on the computer. And I think the Steam Deck is the one that I recommend the most because it does just so much. It's the best value. But if you want an actual portable emulation device, my favorite is the Miu Mini, the original, and which is also hard to recommend because you can't freaking get it right now.
It's impossible. I think they probably are just going to stop producing it. I mean, the fact that they have the Plus coming out, they're just like, nah.
I think they gave up on the original already.
Here's a little bit of news. I can't say. Well, it's not really
inside.
So I've heard that Mayu are actually really struggling with revenue at the moment, and that's why they can't get a hold.
Why?
Just
everyone wants it.
I know, and this is this. I couldn't believe it when because I don't. No, I can't say who, but we know someone who works for them, and apparently they're struggling, but they just. Now that they can't sell enough because they haven't got stock, it's going to be a real issue. So you never know; these things might be like fucking rare fossils of the time.
Dude, the original Miu is like like $300 on eBay right now.
Ooh, I got it for $60.
The original Miu.
I feel good about that.
The mini,
the Miu
the mini
V1, version 2, the one before the one before the Plus.
Yeah,
got ya. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I only recommend that one, or I only use that one the most because it's so easy to throw in your pocket.
Yeah, dude, you just put it in your little pocket right here.
Yeah,
it's those shoulder buttons, though. Jesus, you need like fingers the size of nipples to play on those bad boys.
I'm trying not to play games where I need the shoulder buttons at all.
Yeah,
gnarly, dude.
I've been doing Mega Man X2 because as much as I liked Mega Man X1, I never actually beat Mega Man X2.
Good for you. Good for you.
But if I had to recommend one to people, I've been saying the RG35XX because it's the same as the Miu Mini, but available and you could get it right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How about you, Brandon? What would you recommend people starting out?
Oh, shit. Yeah, you want something around the $50 to $60 mark to get them dabbling into it. I want to say the Miu Mini. But again, you can't get hold of it, and it's really frustrating. And even though I dislike the RG35XX, I think it is good for beginners, and I put that in our review. I just like it because it's just the quality of it. But for someone who's like never played on a little handheld emulator, yeah, the Anbernic RG35XX is probably the one to go. Just don't expect customer service on these fucking things when you buy them because they're non-existent.
What don't you like about the RG35XX?
The buttons are really... I've got like high gloss buttons on mine. They're not too fun. The shoulder buttons are a little bit annoying, and the plastic used it just felt really thin and like cheaply made. But in terms of like performance for your buck, it's okay.
Yeah. I like it because you could. It comes with the stuff it comes with is just fine. Like you can start playing right off the bat. And if you want to put Garlic OS on it and get crazy, that's super easy to do. Also,
Get crazy.
Get absolutely wild with
Just
some Garlic
getting nuts
OS.
with it. I got Onion OS on mine, so I mean,
It's the same.
We're
It's
getting
the
all
same
that on there, all the different veggies, all the different
hell yeah.
spices. All right, let's close this out then, gentlemen. So you hear it. We have the recommended, the RG35XX from Anbernic, and then you had the Steam Deck for favorite handheld emulator, and one you might recommend still. So let's jump into the last topic of this. Bob, we want to know what inspired you to start making YouTube videos? Like, how did this all begin? This is kind of a fun thing for all of our creators out there. Just want to ask this question.
So it kind of happened in a very strange way for me. My brother, I used to do the channel with him for a really long time. He was a film major. He was out of college for a while. I was a graphic design major, and I would think I was like fresh out of college. And he really wasn't doing anything, like film wise. So I was trying to convince him to start a YouTube channel. Cause we used to we just spent all day watching YouTube and watching like gaming content and stuff. So I tried to convince him to start a YouTube channel, and then eventually he said, fine, I'll do it, but you have to do it with me. And I said, okay, that's fine. So we decided he would talk about comic books and I would talk about video games. And we posted one video a week each. And we've done that since 2013. He stepped away in like 2020, I think. But we still do the podcast together. It's just having two different people on one channel with two completely different type of content wasn't sustainable. So that's what got me to start doing it, was that I was trying to convince my brother to do it, and then we kind of just forced each other to keep doing it, and then I kind of was more into it than he was, and kind of took it over.
Segued into the next thing. So yeah, I guess, and maybe not just Wulff then. So yeah, what's next on the horizon for you, or where you kind of setting your sights, or what do you guys have coming up, or that you're looking forward to?
It's hard because making videos just takes so much time. So
it does.
I just keep telling people I just busting out more videos. I'm pretty comfortable. I like just where I'm at. But I do want to focus on some product stuff. I put a lot of time into our apparel and merchandise and stuff, and I have some things for that.
Graphic designer, put those designs on there. Yeah, man.
It's fun for me because I don't do much graphic design stuff lately.
Bust it out.
There's some product ideas on the horizon that I can't really say too much about, but that's what I'm trying to do.
You should make a book.
Yeah.
That, to be fair, they are a fucking hassle.
Then I have to read.
Yeah.
That's
what
not
is
gonna
that?
happen.
How do I read? What is
Do you have a team? Is it you? Is it just you, or do you have like a video editor? Or...
I have people that help. I have I have an editor. He's kind of I still finish the edits, but he puts it all together for me. I also have somebody who works on the advertisements with me. So every video usually has a sponsor in it, and we try to make those as over the top and fun as possible. But it's hard for me to put time into that. So we come up with a little skit together, and then he slaps it all together, and then I still finish that edit too. But
y'all's ad read for Trade Coffee on the most recent podcast with you and Wood cracked me up, man. It was the most chaotic read ever, because you could tell that Wood was reading from a script for a little bit, and then you guys just broke off talking about Trade Coffee and poops and anxiety and all kinds of different things, and then you came back and I was like, I relate to this. See,
I try to always make the ads as fun as possible because no one wants to listen to it. So if you make it weird and fun, then it's like a reward for the people who stuck around. But we got a lot of you can rate on iTunes the pod. You should do that right now. You should rate this podcast on iTunes.
Thanks, Bob.
we were like a 4.3 or something, and all of the bad reviews were saying we spend way too long on the ad reads. So the past like 2 or 3, we've tried to be quick, and we just can't. We can't do it.
That's okay. It's who you are, man. I mean, and if they don't know that, I mean, like on a podcast, any service, you can just like click forward like 15 seconds at a time and just skip through it if you don't want to listen to them.
Yeah.
But this is one that they're good to listen to. They're worth listening to.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got people to pay, so we got to do it. So we got to do. When I'm listening to a podcast, I like when they get weird with it.
I do too. I do too. Well, Bob, thank you again so much for jumping on the podcast. We're gonna close it out here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have this week. Listeners, what's your favorite emulator? If you have one, let us know by writing into retrospect@retrododo.com or check out our polls on Spotify. As Bob mentioned, go ahead and leave us a review if you haven't yet on your favorite podcast service. That would be a good thing to do for us. Again, Bob, thank you so much. Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Twitter at Bob Wulff. It's WULFF. My German or Dutch ancestors didn't know how to spell wolf, so that's how it is. My YouTube channel is Wolf Den, spelt all weird like that. And you can just hit the Google, see where I'm at on a bunch of stuff.
We'll have the links in the description. It'll be good. We'll have it all covered there. And then Brandon, for you, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Retro Dodo everywhere, and it's not Doodoo. People keep saying, it's Retro Doodoo, and
that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, Dodo.
And for me, it'll be just Bitblog. It's BITBLOGGIST. I'm on the Twitters and on the sites there as well. But until then, y'all, catch you in the next episode.